and exhale. And now dropping in and looking and noticing your shoulder girdle. Stuck stress loves to live in our shoulder girdle, creating tension through our neck, through our shoulders, through our mid-back. Noticing where you are lying on your shoulder blades. Notice where your floor contact is with your shoulder blades. Ideally, they feel flat and wide and grounded to the mat. If there's stuck stress in the shoulder girdle, you might notice that you're tipped back towards the top of the shoulder blade, or you might feel like you're weighted differently from right to left. You can also turn your head gently to the right and left, and just notice if there's any restrictions in the end range and the difference from one side to the other. Moving to your diaphragm, the second place that stuck stress likes to live, and noticing if you have either ideally a low back curve, where the curve of your spine runs from the top of your pelvis to your belly button, or if there's stuck stress in the diaphragm, a whole back curve, where the curve of your spine literally runs from your pelvis all the way maybe to mid-ribs or all the way to the top of the shoulder blade. If we have stuck stress in the diaphragm, that will also affect our ability to breathe fully and completely. Really important if you do have any asthma, allergies, or respiratory conditions right now. The third place that stuck stress likes to live is in your pelvis. Noticing here, if ideally your pelvis is weighted equally on two butt cheeks, or if there's stuck stress in the pelvis, you might notice that you're tipped a little more down towards your tailbone. Noticing if the back of your thighs, your masses are resting to the mat, or if the back of your knees, your spaces, which are joints, are a little lifted off the mat. Ideally, your toes are pointed to where the wall and the ceiling meet. If there's stuck stress in the pelvis, you might notice that your toes are either dropped off to the side where your ankles are almost touching the floor, or your toes are pointed straight up to the ceiling. Bringing your focus back to your torso, dividing your body into a left and right. Here we want to assess how efficiently your autopilot is functioning today. The job of your autopilot is to support and stabilize you without you even thinking about it. So are you equally weighted on the right and left sides of your body, or do you feel like you're tipped a little more from one side to the other? I'm going to have you bend your knee, take a focused breath in, and as you exhale, roll onto your side and up to a seated position. We're going to start with our upper body compression today. So you can take your roller, place it behind your body. You're going to lie back where the roller is touching the bottom of your shoulder blade. And you can just reach your arms up and you punch your arms to the ceiling. You can feel if your shoulder blade is hitting the roller. Or if you lift your arm from your armpit, you would have a direct line to the top of the roller. We're going to take your hands, interlock your fingers behind your head. Your elbows are wide. Lift your pelvis, come into a tuck, engaging your deep-rooted core and placing your pelvis down. Rib length of set, elbows wide, head is soft into your hand. As you inhale, you lengthen through your rib cage. And just notice what space you have available through your ribs. Exhale to bring it back up. Keeping your core engaged so your low back is stable. Inhale, lengthen back through your ribs. And then as you exhale, side bend to your right. And it's just a lateral flexion here. And as you inhale, breathe into your left rib cage and just notice how that feels if there's any restriction. And exhale, bring it back. Inhale, laterally flex over to the left, breathe into your right rib cage. And again, just notice how that feels. Bringing it back to center. We're going to go into our gliding. So you lift your pelvis and slide the roller towards the top of your shoulder blade. Keep in your core as you hover your pelvis. Elbows point to where the wall and the ceiling meet. And just start your glide, gliding in the upper 2 inches of your shoulder blades. Check that your head is heavy. You're supporting your head in your arms versus pulling on your head. And we're just gliding nice and small between the shoulder blades, in the tissue between the spine and the shoulder blades. If you feel a little spot of tenderness, tighten up the glide. And then we place your pelvis down and go into your shear, which is just a simple little twisting action where you've got one vertebra pinned to the roller and you're moving the other vertebra above. And then you wait. Take a focused breath in. Good, and exhale. Move the roller now to the middle of your shoulder blades. You're still in a tuck, and start your glide. Here, when you're gliding, you want to be pressing into the front of the roller. So notice I'm curled forward, looking towards my knees. So I'm not rolling on the top of the roller. Instead, I want to be pushing up against it. Bring your pelvis down and go into your shear. Nice little twisting action. As we bring hydration and fluid flow into our tissues. Inhale, take a focused breath in. And exhale. Beautiful. Now move the roller to the lower part of your shoulder blade. Again, support your head, lift your pelvis, a little tuck. Using your feet, pressing into the front of the roller. Elbows are pointed to where the wall and the ceiling meet to draw your shoulder blades apart so we can access that tissue. And then bring your pelvis down and just go into a shear. So remember with melt, we want to get in and get out. Everything is for equivalent of about 3 breaths. Now we're going to go into our inner shoulder blade glide, where you reach your right elbow up towards the ceiling. You can do either side. I'll do my right, so I'm facing you for the first one. And you're gliding up and down the whole length of the inside edge of the shoulder blade. If you have had shoulder injuries or a frozen shoulder, this is brilliant because it gets hydration into the tissue that lies underneath the shoulder blade. And when we have shoulder issues or neck tension, what happens is that the scapula gets adhered to the tissue. So here we're creating that mobility. Find a little spot, tighten up your glide. Good. And if something's overly tender, just bump up against it. Don't barrel right over it. And then we bring your pelvis down, and for your shear, you can either fan your elbow or you can move your arm in front of your body in any direction. Pause, take a focused breath in, and exhale. Good. Now we're going to go into our outer shoulder blade glide and shear. So we're going to stay on that side, and you're literally going to roll right over to your side. So you want the roller at about your bra line, so it'd be lower shoulder blades. Your head is being supported by your hand, and all you do is tilt back. So that gets you off the ribs and more onto the scapula. Take your top hand, place it under your rib cage. And then we go into a side bending technique. So with the side bending, it's different than a curl. It looks like some of you are doing more of a chest curl. That's a different one. This one, we want to side bend. So with this hand underneath your ribs, you want to be lifting the ribs. So you're just directing the rib cage a little bit. Side bending. So when you're tipped back, that puts you onto your shoulder blade. And then when you're doing your side bending action, the roller glides up and down. Good. And then pause and just fan this elbow open and closed. Beautiful. That looks great. Okay. And then we wait. Take a focused breath in and exhale. So let's head over to the other side. So come back to the middle. And now here we go into the inner shoulder blade. So hands are behind your head. Your feet are underneath you. Now you tilt your left elbow towards the ceiling, lift your pelvis, and you're going to glide up and down the whole length of the inner part of your shoulder blade. And the glide is exploratory and preparatory. So you're looking, how does it feel? There's a little spot. Now you're going to tighten the glide and just bump up against that spot. Remember, we want to press the tension out versus barrel right over it. We're not trying to squash it. We're trying to move it. And then place your pelvis down and open and close your elbow, or you can move your arm around in front of your body. Either way, whatever feels best for your shoulder. We don't want any snapping, cracking, clicking, popping, crunching, grinding. Pause, take a focused breath in and exhale. So now I'm going to have my back to you, but it'll allow you to see my ribcage movement from behind. So you're going to roll onto your side. Remember, your hand is supporting your head, We want to get just onto the lower shoulder blade. So come about your bra line, then take this arm overhead, underneath your ribs, tilt back. That gets you onto your shoulder blade, and then go into your side bending. So we're side bending the ribs. When we glide, the roller is moving up and down along the shoulder blade. And then we pause, and the shearing is your bottom elbow opening and closing. And then you wait. Pause, take a focused breath in, and exhale. Good, and then coming up. Fantastic. So we're going to rinse, and then we're going to go into ribcage glide on the two sides, and then side bend. So we've got a little bit to do, but I just want to rinse some of that fluid for a moment. So we bring the roller back behind us. Take your hands behind your head, plant your feet, and then glide the roller to the top of your shoulder blade. So remember, when we rinse, we go down the back, up the front. So we lift your pelvis, you're tucked, and you want to steamroll where you're pressing your back into the front of the roller, pressing down, and eventually your bum will come down and your legs will extend. And then we set the feet, we slide up to the top of the shoulder blades fast. You want to press, so you're pushing the fluid down, bringing nice hydration all the way even into your low back and your pelvis. Bend the knees, slide quick to the shoulder blade, top of the shoulder blades. One more time, lift the pelvis. You're pressing into the front of the roller. So notice I'm curling up and forward as I go. And then bend the knees. Good, okay. So sitting up, you're going to turn onto your side. This one, it might be helpful for you to face me first. You're going to place the roller just below your bra line. And notice I have my arm in front here. So you don't want to have, you want to be able to manage. This is one, Barb, be a little more on your elbow so you don't have too much pressure for the rib cage glide. So on this one, with the hand here, you're going to curl forward. And this is the one where you're doing like an ab curl. So you've got the hand on the floor and you're just curling. If you find it tender, Barb, especially Barb, put your other hand here so that you can control how much weight is on the rib cage. So here you're curling forward, gliding up and down on your ribs. Good, and then we're just gonna pause there for a moment. Take a breath in. And exhale. Good, and then we're going to do the other side. And Andrea, especially for you on the harder roller, you want to be use your arms to support because it's not as soft as this. So don't let it hurt your ribs, right? The ribs are very tender. So to the other side, put this hand out in front. The other hand comes down forward. And then I've got my back to you so you can again see what's happening in the back. I'm curled forward, so I want to be on my rib cage. And it's like I'm doing a little abdominal curl, but I'm using my hand to control how much load is on my ribs on the roller. And then you're just going to pause, take a breath, and exhale. Good. So then we're going to go into the rib side bend. So again, I'm going to face you again. You're welcome to stay on that side and then flip over. But for the rib side bend, what we want to focus, Bart, this is where you can grab your towel. I didn't ask you to get your towel before, yeah. So if you have osteoporosis or you've got some stuff going on in your back and side bending over the roller feels too much, you would just use a towel and roll it up so it's not as deep. So here you take the roller and you're going to place it again just below your bra line. This time you're going to lie down. If you need a pillow between your arm and your head, if your head doesn't feel comfortable, you can put a pillow here. Then you're going to keep your knees bent, bring this arm overhead, bend the bottom elbow and grab above your elbow. So you're grabbing your upper arm. We want to focus on the lengthening of the top side of your body. Tuck your pelvis. So tuck pubic bone to belly button and then lengthen through this arm. We're looking for tensional pull. We're not looking to feel a stretch. It's more of a lengthening. Your option is to extend your top foot, tuck a little more, and reach your hip and leg one way as your arm expands your ribs the other way. Pause, take a focused breath in, and exhale. And then just roll onto your, just roll forward like so, and wait. Good. So that's a big move. So now we're going to do the other side. Again, I'll turn my back to you so you can see it from the back. So you want to take the roller, and you can see here, you've got it just below your bra line. Knees are tucked. Take the bottom arm long and let your head come down. Then take this arm overhead, grab above your elbow. With your pelvis, I want you to tuck pubic bone to belly button. That in itself, as you reach your hip down and your ribs long, might be enough for you. If you can do a little more lengthening, you straighten your top leg. Again, you want to tuck your pelvis and lengthen through your leg and lengthen through your arm. Take a focused breath in and exhale. And then roll onto your front and you wait. Good. And coming up. So let's do our rib length reassess and just see if we've created any more space in your rib cage. So here we go. We're going to take the roller behind you at the bottom of the shoulder blades, just as we started. So you can punch up and see at the bottom of your shoulder blades hitting the roller, or line it up with your armpit. Take your hands, interlock your fingers, your elbows are wide. Lift your pelvis, tuck, and then place your pelvis back down. Lengthening through your ribs as you inhale, and just notice, do you have any more space in your ribs for movement? Side bend to your right, breathe into your left rib cage, and just notice if that's freed up any more space in your side rib. Come back to center, inhale over to the other side, and breathe into your right rib cage, and again, just notice if that's freed up any space. Come back to center and sitting up. Good. Whew, how was that? That feel good in the ribs? If you've been like me again at a computer a lot more, boy, we just get so locked up back there. All right. So let's go into a little lower body compression sequence. So we're going to sit on top of the roller. You just bring your roller. And again, with a lot more sitting these days, I think a lot of people are walking more, but we're also sitting more. It's just everything's different, right? So moving our bodies and feeling our bodies is different. We lose a lot of hydration in through the glutes and the hamstring and the hips. So if you're noticing maybe you're a little bit tighter in your hips or your pelvis or low back, this should help. So just rocking forward and back on your sits bones. Notice my spine is straight and I've just got nice light touch on the fingertips. And then bring your sits bones on the feet side of your roller. Take your hands behind you. You're going to tuck so that the weight of your pelvis is on top of the roller, and go into your tail triangle glide. So this is bringing hydration flow into your SI joints, into your pelvis and your low back. Tip your knees over to one side and just swirl around on that side of your sacrum. Good. See, we're all getting really good at this. We're transitioning into all the movements so fast. And then swirl around to the other side. Excellent. And then we're going to come back. I'm going to do the other side first so that I'm facing you for the first round. So we're going to tip the knees over. You're going to take your arm. So I'm on my left hip. So I'm going to take my right hand and place it on my right knee. And now we want to start to go into our deep hip. So just swirling around. So you want to hit the full left side of your sacrum, of your glutes, of your side hip. You can even let this left knee draw down, and it allows you to get a little deeper into your hip as you're gliding. And then if you find a spot you want to kind of press up against and work on, then you're just going to tighten your glide there. And then we shear. We wait and we open and close the leg. Good. And then we take a focused breath in and exhale. Good. And then we'll go into our side hip. Extend this leg, roll onto your side. So you still want to be on your pelvis, gliding up and down. So you're at the top of the pelvis and you're stopping just above the greater trochanter, that hip bone. So you're all up in sort of more your glute med, your piriformis, gluteus minimus, all the sort of side, hip, and buttock muscles. And then keep this leg there, and you can either rock forward and back on this hip, or you can do what we call cross friction. It's like a rubbing. You pin the tissue and you rub. And then you wait. Take a focused breath in and exhale. Good. And then you can just slide off, and then we'll head on to the other side. I'm going to turn so I can see you. And you just come up onto the roller again, and we'll go right into our deep hip on the other side. So again, you just tilt your knees. You can have your left hand on your left knee, and you just want to swirl around that whole side. It's like if you had your hand fanned on your butt, you want to get that whole area. To get a little deeper in the hip, you can let this knee fall out. Good. And the gliding, the roller is moving. We're preparing and exploring. And then we pause and we shear up and down. Good. And again, always breathing as we go. And then you wait. Take a focused breath in and exhale. Good. Extend this leg out. Roll right over onto your side, and we'll now go into your side hip. So we're gliding up and down. This is more your gluteus medius, your piriformis area. Up and down, up and down. Good. And then for our shear, you can roll forward and back on your hip, or you can do your cross friction. So either is fine. You could do both if you like. It's just really whatever feels good. Remember, melt shouldn't hurt. It should always be tolerable. And then you wait. Take a focused breath in and exhale. Good. And then you just slide off. So I want to do a little front of thigh glide and shear, but we're going to incorporate it with the inner thigh. So we don't spend so much time in a plank position. So you're going to start on your side. We're going to take the roller. The roller needs to be more in line with your torso and your head. So we don't want it down here in front of the legs. You want it more up. And then you're going to straighten your arm out. That'll take the roller the proper length away from you. And then you're just going to tilt the bottom of the roller towards you. Then you take your top leg, you place your knee on top of the roller. When you straighten your leg out, the roller will move so it's just above your knee. Take your top hand and place it on the mat. Bottom leg can be straight. And your whole torso moves. So you're using this top arm so that your pelvis, your ribs, and your torso are moving in equal timing. And you're just gliding the upper 2 inches above your knee. Good. And then we're going to just pause there, flex that foot, and bend and straighten your knee. And then you wait. Take a focused breath in and exhale. So we're going to stay just above the knee, but we're going to now go on to the front of thigh. So you turn your body and you come onto your forearms. Use the bottom leg to kind of prop yourself up. Make sure that your pelvis is lifted. You see my hips and my shoulders are in the same plane. And notice my toes are on the ground. So I'm using my feet. And you're going to glide up and down now the front of thigh. You could swirl around, right? You could swirl around a little more on the inside of the front of thigh, right on the top. You can go a little on the outside of the front of thigh. And then once you pick a spot, just tighten up the glide right there. So keeping your core engaged, keeping your pressure into your forearms and your head with your spine. And then rest your free leg knee down, and then you can glide, shear, where you're just going to rock over back and forth on that tissue. And then you wait, take a focused breath in and exhale. Good. Then you're going to come back down on your side, facing the same way, and move the roller to more your mid inner thigh. It may have already been there. Good. And then we start our inner thigh glide. So you're on the inner thigh, you're using this top arm. What's important is that your whole torso is moving together as one. You don't want to just move in the hips. That might cause a little bit of tension in the low back. And then you pause. For the shear, you can flex your foot, you can bend and straighten your knee, or you can lift and lower your heel. And then you wait. Take a breath in and exhale. So now we're going to come onto the front of thighs. So you're going to come up onto your forearm. You're going to be diagonal a bit so you can work with the angle of the roller. Your toes are down. I'm keeping my free leg, my knee down, so I have a little more support. And you're using your arms to move your body so that you're moving over the roller and the roller is moving under you. So now we're middle front of thigh. For the shear, you can just rock forward and back. So you're just rocking across the thigh. And then you wait. Lie down, take a focused breath in, and exhale. Nice work. Now move the roller right up into the groin area. And same thing. Now, I find for me, you can do your glide in here. You want to try and get in pretty deep. For this one, I actually find it more effective to come up onto my elbows and work way up in the groin. So you can play with that. As long as you're nice and supported through your upper body, through your core, you're not sagging in the pelvis, you gotta lift the hips. You just wanna go exploring what works for you. Keep your leg nice and heavy and relaxed on the roller. Good. And then you lie down for your shear, and you can either do the lift and lower of your heel, or you could do your cross friction. And then you wait. Take a focused breath in and exhale. Good. So let's head over to the other side. So I'm going to spin around so I can see your lovely faces here and I can see how we're doing following my cues. You bring the roller so it's more in line with your torso. You extend your arm out, and then you're going to tilt the roller towards you, the bottom. Then you bring your knee on top of the roller, and you straighten your leg out so your toe comes to the floor, and you'll end up just above your knee. Using this top hand to navigate, you're going to rock your whole torso forward and back. Find a spot, tighten up the glide. Good. And then we shear. So you can flex your foot and either bend and straighten your knee, keeping this top shoulder relaxed, or you can lift and lower your heel. And then you wait. Take a focused breath in and exhale. So now we're going to get into the front of thigh, right above the knee, lower thigh. So you're going to come up onto your forearms. I've got my knee down of my free leg. My pelvis is lifted. And I'm using my toes to help me. My forearm and my toes. Go looking. Find a little on the inside or the top. So much sex stress it lives in our quads and in our thighs. And then we pause and we can just rock side to side. And then you lie down and you wait. Take a breath in and exhale. The roller now comes to middle of your inner thigh. And then we start our glide. Again, using this hand to navigate, rolling you forward and back. Good. And then you pause and we go into the shear. You can either, again, flex your foot, bend and straighten your knee, or you can lift and lower your heel. And then you wait. Take a focused breath in and exhale. Now we do the front of thigh in the middle. So you're going to come, your body will be angled a little bit so that you can work with the roller on the length of the muscle tissues. And you're just pulling yourself forward and back. So you're rolling over top. Good. Again, play with the exact position of where you want to work. Once you find a point of tenderness, you just want to bump up against that point. Remember, we're pushing it out. We're pushing against it. And then we pause and we can just roll forward and back. And then you lie down and you wait. Take a breath in. Shoo, and exhale. Fantastic. All right, so let's get right up into the hip, the deep, deep hip. So bring your roller up there and use this hand to navigate. Again, you can lie on your side like so. If you're finding, yeah, you've got some good spots going on there. Or if you need to get in a little deeper, you just come up onto your forearms. So I'm just using my forearms to glide me side to side. Toes are down. You want your leg heavy and relaxed on the roller so you can penetrate the tissue with the roller. Good. And then you lie down, and for the shear, again, you can either lift and lower your heel, or you can do your cross friction. Whichever feels good for you. And then you wait, take a focused breath in, and exhale. Good, and bring it up. All right, just gonna check our time there. Oh, fun. All right, so let's do a little hamstring. Let's just do 2 points in the hamstring, 2 points in the calf. And then I'd like to finish off with we haven't done the back of skull shear for a while, so we'll do that. So on your back, we'll bring the roller right under, so it's basically an upper hamstring. And you want, again, your legs to be heavy and relaxed, and we just go into your passive shear. So it's nice, we've done the inner thigh, which is good, but one of the things we could do here is if you do one leg at a time, you can get a little more to the outer thigh. So we'll have really touched all points of our thighs. Make sure if you're doing single leg, you do both. So remember here, it's like you want to really pin the tissue and then move the tissue underneath the skin. And then you wait, take a focused breath in and exhale. So then you want to move to about the belly of the thigh or a little below, because we're just going to do 2 points today. You can choose. And then we just move in and out. We can get a little more into the outer thigh as well. Nice and relax through your leg. And then do both sides. Using your breath, nice and easy. And exhale. Good. And then you wait. Take a focused breath in. And exhale. Good. And then move the roller to your calf. And what we can do is both legs at once here. So what's important is that you keep your feet relaxed. And you're just going to roll up and down. So we're going to do both legs together here because it's good to know this one. And again, you're just going to explore. So you can do right at the back of your calf. You can turn your knees and toes to the right, and you're getting the outer calf of one and the inner calf of the other. You can turn to the left, right? You can play around and then pick a spot, bump up against it. Feet stay relaxed, checking in. And then you wait, take a breath in and exhale. If you've got any hip instability issues, you might be noticing that there's a lot of stuck stress in the calves. Calves are problematic for the hips. So if you have hip issues, check your calves and maybe you need to work there. So again, just go exploring. Look on the inside, look in the middle, look on the outside. And then pick a spot and just tighten up that glide. And then you can pause and circle your ankles for your shear. And then you wait. Take a focused breath in and exhale. Good. And let's just check here. So I'm just going to have you straighten your legs out, move the roller out of the way, and bring your palms up to the ceiling and close your eyes. And you're just going to drop in and check where you are now from where we started. So noticing if your shoulder blades are more grounded to the mat. If you feel like your ribs are down rather than a whole back curve, you have a low back curve. And then also notice where you're weighted on your pelvis. Ideally, you're feeling like you've got equal weight on two fluffy butt cheeks. Good. And then just turn your head to the right and left and notice if there's any restrictions. We're going to go into our back and skull shear. So to finish today, we'll just do our head reassess to be done. Good. So now you're going to take your roller and you're going to roll onto your side. If you have glasses on, you may want to take them off at this point. And you just want to put the roller to that little bump on the back, just behind your ear. So if you reach with the other hand, you can feel there's a bump just behind your ear there. That's where you want to be. Your bottom arm, I'm going to have you reach it out. So you're just going to take this arm and reach it to get off the shoulder. And you're just going to do little circles. So we're just doing a passive shear. And then you wait. Now we want to go to your jaw. So now all you do is you turn your head, so you're looking straight ahead, and you should end up just below your cheekbone. And here, you can either just roll your head forward and back, or you open and close your mouth. So if you've been having tension headaches, you've got any TMJ, jaw pain going on, this is brilliant. And then you wait. And then you're going to take your roller and move it just to your temple. So you just roll the roller up. And then you do your small circles. And you wait. Good. Back to your jaw, so roll it down just below your cheekbone. Open and close your mouth. Nice and slow. Good, and you wait. And then come back to that point just behind the back of your ear and circle. And you wait. Now we go to half back. So with your top leg, you're just going to bring your knee up and plant your foot, and that'll have you turn slightly diagonally. So it's called a half back. So you're not on the side or on the back, you're halfway back. And then just lift your chin a little bit. So the weight of your head is on top of the roller, and circle. And then you wait, take a breath in and exhale. Good, so now we'll go to the other side. I'm going to turn so that, or flip so that I can see you. So we start here on your side. You want to find that point just behind the back of your ear. You're going to reach this bottom arm out just to get off your shoulder. And we go into our shear, so we circle. And then you wait. Then we just roll forward, so we end up on our jaw just below our cheekbone, and you open and close. And then you wait. And then you move the roller just above your cheekbone onto your temple, and you circle. Pause, take a focused breath in, and exhale. Move the roller down just below your cheekbone, back to your jaw, and you can open and close. Take a focused breath in, and exhale. Then we go back behind the ear, so you just tilt your head a little and circle at that point just behind your ear. And you wait. Then take this leg up, plant your foot so your body turns, so you're in your half back position. Make sure you're on your skull and not on the back of your knee, really our neck. Make sure that you definitely are shearing on the skull, not the neck. And then you circle. You wait, take a focused breath in, and exhale. Then we go on to our back, and you're going to find that little bump, that bump in the back of your skull, and you're going to be on the bottom part of the bump, and you're going to lift your chin, just like you want to smell something good in the air. And you take a breath in, and then you're going to do your infinity sign. So it's like a sideways figure 8, or like you're doing a little backstroke with your ears. And then you wait, take a breath in and exhale. And then lastly is our back of skull or our neck decompress. So move the roller so it's right behind the bump in your head. If it's too high, the roller will feel like it's sliding out. And then lift your chin as if you're lifting your face to kiss someone much taller than you. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, you gently draw your chin forward, but the focus is on lengthening your skull away from your spine. Pause, inhale, stay with my timing, and exhale, return back to face the ceiling. Inhale, exhale, focus on the lengthening in the back of your neck. Pause, inhale, and exhale, bring it back to center. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, focus on the creating space in the back of your neck. Take a breath in and exhale back to center. Move the roller out from behind your head and just turn your head to the right and left. And just notice there if you freed up any movement in your neck. Take a focused breath in. As you exhale, roll onto your side. Bring yourself up to a seated position. And now we all have wonderful hairdos. I'm going to stop.